everybody. Today I'm going to continue reading Stink, Solar System Superhero. We are on chapter 3, I think, Extra Credit. Science time, said Mrs. D. Let's go over your tests. Stink took out his test. He tried to cover up the big red X on the Pluto page with his elbow in case Nick, the new kid in front of him, turned around. Stink stared at the back of the new kid. His head looked His head looked a little like a small, almost round planet. Just then, Miss D got a call from the principal. Okay, class, everybody take out your math book and open to page 101. Keep working while I go talk to Miss Tuxedo. Teacher got sent to the principal's office, somebody snickered. Planet Head Nick turned around. Nick showed Stink his test. Nick had a big fat red X on the Pluto page, just like Stink. I got skunked, said Planet Head. Me too, said Stink, lifting up his elbow. At my old school, Pluto was still a planet. This is not there. Tell me about it. I was with the nurse getting my ears checked when Mrs. D told about the no Pluto rule. And nobody, not even my best friends, Webster and Sophia of the elves, told me. You can call me Skunk, by the way, said Nick. And you can call me Stink, said Stink. I thought I was the only person on the planet with a smelly name. Nope, and guess what? I like smelly stuff, just like my name. Me too, said Stink. I was in a smelly sneaker contest at my old school, said Skunk. No way, said Stink. I got to judge a super smelly sneaker contest. I smelled a durian fruit one time, said Skunk. It was like the way worst smell in the world. P.U., said Stink. I want to smell a corpse flower someday. Freaky deaky, said Skunk. Double freaky deaky, said Stink. At my old school, said Skunk, back when there were still 9 planets in the solar system, my science book had this neat trick about how to remember them. My very excellent mother just served us 9 pizzas, Stink and Skunk said at the same time. Now they'll have to think up a new one, said Skunk, without the P for Pluto. Let's see, said Stink. How about my very excellent mother just served us nothing, Skunk cracked up. My very excellent mother just said, you nerd, Sophia said, joining in. Many vampires eat mothballs, just so you know, piped it up Webster. Those aren't even the right letters, said Skunk, chuckling. Many vampires, said Webster. Eat macaroni jelly sandwiches, said Sophia. Unless naked, Stink finished. Skunk laughed. Hey, that doesn't even make sense. Wait, I got it, said Stink. My very educated monkey just spoke utter nonsense. Good one, said Skunk. You get extra credit for that one. I wish, said Stink. Hey, we should make up a new saying for real to remember the planets, including the 3 dwarf planets. You mean Ceres, Pluto, and Eris, too? Asked Sophia. My brothers say there's another one, too, called Make, said Webster. Stink's head was spinning. He wrote 11 letters across the top of his page. MVEMCJSUNPE, then scribbled down words. My very eager mad cat just scratched up nose-picking earwigs. Now Sophie and Webster tried. My very edible macaroni cheese just spit up nasty puking eyeballs. Stink and Skunk howled, then put their heads together and came up with another saying. My very energized mystery car just shot under 9 police escorts. That was so way good, said Sophie. When Mrs. D came back, kids were talking loud and letting class guinea pigs run loose and shooting hoops in the trash can. Mrs. D blinked the lights. She clapped her hands 5 times. Class 2D took their seats and clapped their hands 5 times in response. Did anybody solve any problems while I was gone? Asked Mrs. D. Nobody said a word. Stink passed a note to his friends. Many Virginia excited math children just screwed up not practicing education. Skunk shot up his hand. We did. Stink and I solved the problem. Good for you, said Mrs. D. Which one was it? The Pluto problem. The Pluto problem, Mrs. D flipped through the pages of her teacher's edition math book. It's not a math problem, it's a science problem. Even better, said Mrs. D. It's time for science anyway. Stink and Skunk told the class all about the new sayings they made up. Riley Rottenberger raised her right hand. She was wearing a shirt that said Space Cadet and calling out, "Oh, oh," like she had a major stomachache. Riley, did you have something you wanted to say? By now, Mrs. D should have known that Riley Rottenberger always had something to say. There's a real saying for dwarf planets, said Riley. A girl made it up and won a contest. And it isn't about a mystery car or police. It's, my very excellent magic carpet just sailed under 9 palace elephants. Thanks for letting us know, Riley. That's very creative. Stink and Skunk came up with a creative sentence, too. Riley shrugged and made a sour ball face. Boys, come see me after class, said Mrs. D, and see what we can do about those red X's. My very excellent mother just served us 9 pizzas. Mnemonic Comics. Mars. Question, why does Stink want to play basketball on Mars? Answer, boing. He could jump super high because the gravity on Mars is only 1/3 of that on Earth. Question, why would Stink go mountain climbing on Mars? Answer, because Olympus Mons, a Martian volcano, is 3 times as tall as Mount Everest. That must mean that a Yeti on Mars has 3 times as much hair. All right, guys, hope you're enjoying. Tomorrow I'll read Chapter 4, Miss Space Camp Know-It-All.